Let's start out with the gift cards. First of all, gift cards are one of the best retention tools you can offer. It's very difficult to switch a gift card program, and most agents do not know how to pull it off. So let me give you an example here, okay? Let's say that you sell somebody and you put them on a gift card program. And let's say it's a restaurant and they do $30,000, $40,000 a month in volume, and you also sell them a gift card program and they have 1,000 gift cards out there that are part of your program. Now, let's say that a new agent comes in and tries to sell them. If he's going to try to sell them, what's one of the first things they're going to ask? They're going to say, hey, I've got these gift cards. What do you do about that? Well, 9 times out of 10, the agent is not going to know what to do, and he's going to say, well, we have a gift card program too. And they're going to say, well, what about all the gift cards that are currently out? And if he does not know how to handle that situation, then most likely that customer is not going to give him their business, even if he's saving them some money. So getting your clients on gift cards, to be real honest with you guys, it's actually not about the money. I would love to tell you that you're going to make a fortune on gift cards, but you're not. Gift cards do not make you very much money, but they are very good at retention. That's one reason why I don't recommend that you really try hard to switch somebody that already has a gift card program. I recommend that you just leave that gift card program alone and split up the processing into gift cards. And if you run into a situation where somebody already has gift cards, go to my website, ccsalespro.com, search for gift card conversion, and there's an article there that talks about gift card conversion and how to convert somebody over. But here we're talking about a new gift card program, selling somebody gift cards that does not already have them. And again, if you can get them on the gift card program, it'll be a huge tool for retention. Next, explain the benefits of float and additional purchases. Now, the two biggest benefits of gift cards for the business owner is float, which is gift cards that people purchase but never redeem. And secondly is additional purchases. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Let's say that somebody gives you a $20 gift card to, I don't know, some retail store, okay? You go in there and you spend $16.50. Well, they give you that gift card back and they say, okay, you know, your order is paid for and now you have $3.50 remaining. Now, there's two things that can happen with that $3.50. Number one, it could become additional profit if the person never uses the gift card again, which is great for the business owner. Or even better, the person could come back in and say, well, I still have $3.50, so I might as well spend another $20 or $30 to get something else. And that's what happens more often than not. So gift cards are a great way for the business owner, number one, to have float to get some profit there and also additional purchases. And in addition to that, a lot of people that get a gift card for their birthday for, like, say, a restaurant, they might never have gone to that small business before, but because they get that gift card, now they have a new customer. And so it's a great way to acquire new customers. It's a great way to have float in your business, and it's a great way to get additional purchases. One other one here. Use this in a tough market to lead off and get your foot in the door. So one other thing you can use gift cards for is if you're in a really tough market. Now, let me explain what I mean by this, guys. 80 to 90% of those of you that are on this webinar right now, you don't need to lead off with gift cards. You need to lead off with merchant services. Make that sale. Then at the end, once you're done with the sale, you can say, now here's a couple additional services that we offer, and talk about gift cards. However, if you're in a market where every single person that you walk into is saying to you, I can't believe there's another one of you coming in here. I had 5 people in here today or this week trying to sell me credit card processing or something like that. If you're in a hyper-competitive market, which again, you know, talk to me before you decide that you're in a hyper-competitive market. A lot of times your opening can overcome that. But if you really are in a hyper-competitive market, you can start off with the gift card. So you can go in and say, hi, my name is James Shepard, and I'm a local business owner, and I provide a great gift card program for businesses like yours. You can target retail and restaurant businesses and let them know, hey, we have a great program for gift cards, and I was just curious, do you have gift cards right now? And then you can lead into, well, if we're going to do gift cards, it is a lot easier to bundle the gift cards and the merchant services together. So we have a great program where we offer you a huge discount on your merchant services when you use our gift card program, and you can lead into it that way. So that's another thing that you can do if you're in a really tough market or a really tough city. Think about leading off with the gift cards and then coming in the back for the merchant services. Okay, next, let's talk about cash advances. Again, we got this one, and then we're going to do one more slide real quick on e-checks, and then you guys can ask me a bunch of questions. So here we go. Selling cash advances. First of all, do not ever lead off with a cash advance. It is better to market the service rather than to quote-unquote sell it. Now, here's why. The interest rate is very high, and it would be an insult to some business owners. Now, if you have a business owner that's established, he's been in the community for 20 years, he has a great credit rating, has an established business, and you come into him and say, hey, I want to give you a loan, and the interest rate is 30%, okay, that's an insult because he could go down to the bank and get 10%, 11%, maybe even 9% on a commercial loan, or even a credit card, he could maybe get less than 30%. So these loans have a very high interest rate, and they're designed for businesses that have no other alternative for financing, all right? And there are a lot of businesses that have no other alternative for financing, but you got to be careful how you pitch it. You don't want to make it seem like you really need this because then they're going to be like, well, how do you know I need this? And it can be an insult. Your goal is to make your merchants aware that you offer it, not to try and close these deals. Now, let me tell you a story of how I started selling cash advances. For a long time, I felt like, boy, these are just such a bad deal. I can't imagine any business owner really wanting these, and I never offered it to my clients. Well, one day about 2 years ago, one of my big multi-location clients called me and said he had about, let's see, I think he had 5 locations at that time. He was opening up a 6th location. And he said, hey, James, he said, I need a copy of my last 6 months processing statements for all the locations. And, of course, that raised some red flags with me because I thought he was probably thinking of switching to another processor. And I said, sure, I can do that for you. I said, may I ask, why you need that? And he said, well, yeah, I just signed up to do a cash advance to this other company, and it's for $125,000, and so they need the bank statements or the processing statements for the last 6 months. $125,000 cash advance. The commission on that would have been exactly a lot, and I lost out on that. So when I realized that, I said, well, I offer cash advances. And he said, oh, I didn't know you did that. I would have gone through you. And so anyway, so I have since done quite a few cash advances for that guy. And after that, I decided I'm going to make all my merchants aware that I offer cash advances. And then if they want it, they can ask me for it. So I do let all my merchants know. Again, I use that brochure that I just showed you a minute ago on the Agent Info Center, and that's what I use to explain it. But anyway, I give them that. I don't try to pitch it. I just say, hey, here's a couple services that we offer. We have gift cards, and I give them some information on that. I say we have cash advances. I give them some information on that, and then I say we have electronic checks. All right. Mention this service to all your merchants. Pitch bulk orders and expansion, since these two can usually justify the higher rates. There are situations where, I'll give you an example, a retail store. There are situations where a retail store owner might find a product that they know they could sell for, $50 a piece, and they could buy it in bulk at $10 a piece, but they need $10,000 to make the order. And so that's a situation where 30% is really a pretty good deal because, if they can get $10,000 right away within a couple days, that would be really good for them because then they can buy this great opportunity. They can buy this $10,000 worth of stuff, and they can sell it for $50,000, and they only have to pay us $13,000 or $14,000 back. So that's a good deal. Also expansion. If they're opening up a brand new store, they might need some money to get that going, and the other store can bear the brunt of paying that back, but they need a lot of money to get the new store started. So those are usually 2 reasons why people should do a cash advance if that's their only alternative for financing. A lot of times, though, merchants really a lot of times do this because they get into a bind. They get into a tough spot, and they've got to have money. And if you don't realize this yet, if you're in business and you need money really bad, the bank is probably not going to give it to you. And so that's one great thing about the cash advances is that we give people money when they need it, even when the bank won't. Lastly, mention the service to all of your merchants. Have a handout that you provide them with. So again, the way you want to market this is just mention it to the people. Let them know that you offer it so that if and when they want one, they know that they should call you. And they will call you, trust me. They would much rather call you to get that money than they would deal with some separate company. It's just a lot easier to work with the processor on that. Now, guys, the way the cash advances work, just to give you a real quick overview of that, let's say that you have a merchant that wants a $10,000 cash advance. here's how that works, okay? You're going to get their last 6 months of processing statements, whether that was with us or with another processor. You submit that to Capital for Merchants. They're going to say, okay, we'll give this guy $10,000. He's going to have to pay it back over the next 6 months, and it's going to be a factor rate of 1.35 or 1.31 or whatever. So that means whatever they borrow, they're going to pay back 1.31 times that amount. So if they would got a $10,000 cash advance with a factor rate of 1.31, they would pay back $13,100 over 6 months. That works, okay? All right, let's move on to the next one. Electronic checks. Now, this is probably the only one of the 3 services that I really pitch, because I actually think it's a really good service, and a lot of businesses really need this. I think gift cards are a great service too, but I don't make very much money off of gift cards, so I don't heavily pitch it. Again, it's a great retention tool. I probably should pitch it more than I do, but I'm not as motivated to pitch that because it doesn't make me very much money. Electronic checks are not as good at retention. I mean, it's an okay retention tool, but most other processors do offer electronic checks. And do you guys understand the difference between a retention tool like electronic checks and a retention tool like gift cards? With gift cards, there's like 1,000 gift cards out there, so for you to switch that merchant, you have to somehow do something with those 1,000 gift cards. Electronic checks, it's kind of a pain to switch because they already have all their electronic checks through you, and they're like, I don't know if I want to switch. So it's a good retention tool, but it's not as good because another company could come in and set up electronic checks and it would work fine. Okay, so that's the difference. But I do pitch this to every business owner processing at least $5,000 per month or more. The main 2 selling points are convenience and guarantee. Now, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, you have your credit card terminal. Right next to your credit card terminal, you can have an electronic check scanner. They can run a check through that, just like Walmart does, stamp void on the check and hand it back to you, and it'll send that amount of money electronically. It'll remove it from the customer's bank account and put it into the merchant's bank account. That's what electronic checks are. Now, there's 2 different kinds of electronic check programs. There is conversion, and then there's conversion plus guarantee. Now, conversion means they're going to do what I just said. They're going to take the check, they're going to convert it into an electronic payment, and they're going to submit that electronic payment to your account. Conversion plus guarantee says that they're going to do that, plus if it's a bad check, they're going to go ahead and put the money in the merchant's account anyway, and then Global Check or Getty is going to go after the client to get that money back. So basically, if the customer gets conversion plus guarantee, they will never have to go after a bad check writer again, because if Global Checks accepts that check when the person writes it, then they give a guarantee they have to cover that check. So really, the merchant will never even know that they got a bad check. I mean, it'll be on their statement, but they won't really even know because the money will just be in their account, so they don't have to worry about it. And that's a pretty big deal, especially for places like auto repair places where they're taking $600, $700, $800 checks. I mean, if they get one bad check a year, that can be a pretty big issue. And not only is it a big issue as far as money, but also as far as reputation, because most of these guys, if I'm a mechanic, I don't really want to have to call one of my longtime customers and say, hey, your check bounced. Kind of unprofessional. And a lot of times it can get into a nasty situation for the business owner, and they don't like that. So the conversion plus guarantee is really a great deal. It's a great program. It's also very convenient because, again, it's converting it electronically. You would be surprised, guys, how much work it is for some of these guys like a mechanic. He's making, what, $60, $80, $90 an hour? And so he's going to have to take 2 hours every 3 or 4 days to go down to the bank, and he's going to have to take all the checks and put them on a deposit slip, and then he's going to have to enter them in separately in his accounting software, and then he's going to have to go to the bank and make a deposit. It's a lot of work, even if it takes 30 minutes. I mean, if it takes him 30 minutes a week, that's 120 minutes a month. That's 2 hours. That's $120, $200 worth of time that he's spending every month. So if it costs him 20 or 30 bucks for that service, and it's going to save him 2 or 3 hours a month, most mechanics and even retail store owners and people like that are going to realize, wow, this is a pretty good deal. So electronic checks is a really, really good deal. Let's see here. We offer a free check scanner, and this is something many business owners would like to have. Once you tell them, hey, I can give you a free check scanner if you'd like to have that, Wow, that's a big selling tool, and a lot of people really, really like that. So you can give them a free check scanner. Now, I will tell you one thing, guys, that I've done in the past, and I'm just going to throw this out there as an idea for some of you guys that are a little bit more creative. And if this doesn't make any sense to you, just plug your ears and don't worry about it, and you'll learn about this later. But one thing I've done is when I get a merchant that wants a, they want a pen pad, they want a check scanner, they want a, terminal, they want the whole deal. You know what, guys? A lot of times they would actually like to own that equipment. And, let's see here. Ask if they have had bad checks or not, and that's how you want to determine whether or not you're going to give them the check guarantee. If they say, if it's a little store and they are doing $40 orders and they hardly ever get a bad check, there's no reason for them to pay the extra money for the guarantee. It does cost extra money to get the guarantee service, whereas the conversion program is a lot cheaper because, we're not guaranteeing the bad checks. We're just converting the checks electronically. So then it's all about convenience. And also it'll help them to not get a bad check because, guys, think about this. If you're a business owner and somebody's about to write you a check and they see you're going to run it through one of those machines, people are a lot less likely to give you a bad check anyway. So it kind of solves its own problem. And, if they don't want the guarantee service, just make sure they understand, hey, if a bad check comes through, then that's going to be on you, not on us. All we're doing is converting it into an electronic transaction. We're not guaranteeing it. So there you go. That's for the e-checks. Now, I have a suspicion that we're going to have a lot of questions. I could be wrong, but if we have some questions, let's go ahead and open it up for that. So if you guys have any questions, if you could do me a favor and either raise your hand over to the right, or you can type out your question down in the question box. Now, I don't have any questions yet. Who wants to get us started off with a question? Anybody got a question for us? Wow, I'm surprised. I thought this was going to be the webinar with the most questions. Let's see here. I'm going to unmute the lines, all of the lines, so it might get a little loud. Oh, here we go. We have our first question. Let's see here. From Steve. Thank you, Steve. All right. What is the conversion service? Okay, so let's talk about electronic checks again here, the conversion service. The conversion service simply does this. There's a check scanner sitting there, okay, and we run a check through that scanner. The scanner is going to read the numbers at the bottom of the check. Then the merchant is going to enter the amount of the check into the credit card terminal and hit enter. And then what it's going to do is it's going to convert that into an electronic ACH transaction. So say they wrote a check for $40. Instead of the merchant going down and depositing a $40 check, our machine is going to take that $40 check and convert it into a $40 ACH transaction from their account to Global Checks, and then Global Checks is going to deposit that money into the merchant's bank account for them. So it basically is like a credit card transaction, but it's an ACH. Okay, let's see. We got a great day.